Today, we're taking on a tech giant that's pretty much constantly in the news, often for, well, challenging reasons. We've gathered a really fascinating stack of articles, research, and insights. They offer quite a fresh perspective on this massive platform.
That's right. Our mission for this deep dive is to look beyond the headlines, specifically at Facebook Now Meta Platforms, Inc. We'll explore its current struggles and, maybe more importantly, uncover how you, the user, can strategically turn those very challenges into actually powerful advantages.
Yeah.
This isn't just about understanding what's happening behind the scenes. It's about, flipping the script entirely, putting you in control.
Right. We're going to dive into some truly revealing insights about the difficult position Facebook finds itself in right now, and then show you the often overlooked opportunities hidden within that struggle. It's quite interesting stuff.
So let's get into it. Our analysis of the material suggests that despite its, colossal valuation, Facebook is under immense pressure. It's facing widespread criticism and even seeing some significant user shifts. But what's really driving this? What's the core issue here?
Well, one of the most significant forces at play is what's been termed the trust crisis. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big one. This platform has maybe unfortunately become almost synonymous with privacy violations and data scandals over the years. Think back to incidents like the Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018. That was huge. Millions of user profiles harvested without consent for, well, political influence. And the data from our sources indicates that this wasn't just a one-off event. It kind of laid the groundwork for these persistent legal and regulatory challenges that are now directly impacting Meta's strategic decisions and even its R&D budget. That initial privacy breach was certainly a huge wake-up call for many people. I remember that vividly. But what's particularly striking from these sources is how that mistrust has, well, evolved, especially concerning misinformation. What do the reports suggest about their handling of things like pandemic or election-related content?
Precisely. So beyond data privacy, our sources highlight this global scrutiny for Meta's perceived failure to adequately combat misinformation, particularly during really sensitive periods like elections or the pandemic.
Right, high-stakes stuff.
Very high stakes. And the consequence, a significant erosion of user trust. It leads many to question the platform's reliability as a source of information at all.
Yeah, beyond trust, the data also reveals this growing frustration with how the platform actually works.
Yeah.
This phenomenon some are calling algorithm fatigue. Have you seen that term?
Indeed. Yeah, it's popping up more and more. The platform's increasingly complex algorithm. It often leaves users feeling like they've lost control over what they actually see in their feed. Personal posts from friends, the stuff you originally signed up for, often get buried under this flood of suggested content, political rants, or, viral clickbait. It's just a fundamental shift from what many users initially wanted or expected.
And for businesses, this algorithm shift means it's just a constant struggle, right? Trying to reach followers organically without having to constantly pay for ads.
Exactly.
It leaves many feeling like their news feeds are just cluttered and exhausting
Yeah.
rather than, a place for genuine connection or energy.
Yeah, exhausting is a good word for it. Then there's the persistent issue of toxicity and polarization. That's another big theme. While the platform champions free expression, it's also, unfortunately, become kind of a hotbed for harassment in comments.
Yeah.
Content that actively pits people against each other, and this pervasive influx of scam ads and spam from fake accounts.
The fake accounts seem never-ending.
They really do. And even previously vibrant community groups, as our sources highlight, have sometimes been, poisoned by arguments or agenda-pushing content. It just makes them less enjoyable for genuine interaction.
It's also navigating a pretty significant generational abandonment. Let's be honest about that. The platform simply isn't considered cool by younger demographics anymore. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. Our sources show Gen Z overwhelmingly prefers platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Discord.
Right.
Many younger millennials primarily use Facebook maybe for Messenger or specific work groups, that sort of thing. It's increasingly perceived as a platform for, let's say, older users, businesses, and politics.
Yeah.
Which leads to a real identity crisis for the brand, Who are they for anymore?
That's a good question. And finally, we can't overlook Meta's missteps and the metaverse stumble. That's been quite public.
Oh, yes. Mark Zuckerberg's grand vision of a fully immersive 3D virtual internet has, so far, been met with a mix of confusion and, frankly, even ridicule in some circles.
Billions invested.
Billions. Huge sums invested in VR technology with pretty limited widespread adoption so far. And key platforms like Horizon Worlds, which was meant to be Meta's flagship metaverse experience, have struggled significantly to gain traction.
Yeah, it hasn't quite landed. Critics, and our sources seem to agree, argue that Meta seems to be neglecting its core cash cows, like the Facebook app itself, while chasing these ambitious, almost sci-fi dreams.
That's the critique, yeah. And that internal shift in focus, as the reports indicate, directly impacts the user experience on the main platform. Things feel a bit neglected.
Okay, so beyond those larger systemic issues, the research reveals a whole host of common frustrations, things that, you've likely experienced yourself as a user.
Absolutely. The data points to things like endless notifications about content you genuinely don't care about. We all get those.
Oh, yeah.
Or the really frustrating experience of getting locked out of your account without clear recourse. That's a nightmare for people. Or seeing ads that feel uncomfortably specific, almost like the platform is reading your mind.
A little creepy sometimes.
Yeah, just a bit. Many users, as noted in the feedback we looked at, have also experienced confusing, unannounced changes to the layout and privacy tools. Things just shift overnight. Or they've seen a drastic plummet in their group and page reach unless they pay to boost posts.
Right, the pay-to-play feeling.
Exactly.
And what stands out to you, our listener, when you think about your own frustrations, for many, I think, is that pervasive feeling of being tracked, targeted, and maybe even subtly manipulated by an algorithm. An algorithm designed to keep you scrolling, perhaps even addicted.
That's a common sentiment.
Oh, well, with all these widely acknowledged flaws, why are we still even discussing Facebook as a viable platform? Why are we here talking about it?
Well, this is where the truly compelling insights from our sources emerge. This is the interesting part. Despite all these widely publicized struggles, Facebook still holds massive, often undervalued potential.
Yeah.
And the surprising twist: you, the user, can strategically leverage the platform's weaknesses and internal pressures to your own significant advantage.
Right, flipping the script, as you said earlier.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating here is that because many users and businesses are either abandoning Facebook entirely or, frankly, just misusing it, the competition for attention has actually plummeted in numerous valuable niches.
Less noise in some corners.
Less noise, exactly. This creates a significant, often overlooked opportunity for genuine organic reach, if you're smart about your approach.
Okay, so unpack that. The research suggests that if you post consistently valuable content that genuinely helps or entertains, and you use engaging formats like short vertical videos, reels, or multi-image carousels, you can actually reach more people without paying for ads. Is that right?
That's what the data indicates, especially in specific areas. Think about underserved, interest-based communities. Things like, say, local gardening groups, hyper-local news discussions, senior fitness communities, or even niche pet rescue groups.
Okay.
The data indicates these areas have lower content saturation. There's just less competition for eyeballs. And building on that, the declining competition also means that ads themselves are significantly cheaper in these underrated niches.
Okay, so ad costs are dropping.
In certain areas, yes. Big brands are often shifting their massive advertising budgets to platforms like TikTok and Instagram, chasing the younger demographic, which means Facebook ad costs are actually dropping in these lower competition areas.
Right.
So if you're targeting a local audience, maybe for that Wollongong over 50s photography workshop example we used, or perhaps a community art class right in your own neighborhood, Facebook ads can be incredibly affordable and really effective.
And here's another critical point the sources highlight, which I found fascinating. If you're selling a product or service primarily to users aged, say, 40-plus at home, Facebook still possesses some of the most accurate demographic data and targeting tools available online. Period.
That's a key point. Despite everything, their data for that demographic is still incredibly detailed.
So for just, $520 a day, the sources suggest you can dominate a specific, highly relevant niche that your competitors might be completely ignoring because they're chasing trends elsewhere.
Precisely. It's about being strategic with where the audience actually is. And this raises an important question. What about Facebook groups? We mentioned them earlier.
Right. Groups often feel different from the main feed.
Very different. While the main news feed can often feel like a chaotic mess, our sources consistently confirm that Facebook groups are still thriving. many of them. They're often highly active, incredibly loyal, and sometimes, surprisingly, under-moderated.
Under-moderated.
Interesting.
Which means your valuable, well-crafted posts can truly stand out. They don't get lost as easily. People turn to groups for specific help, for trusted recommendations, even just to vent frustrations,
Yeah.
which are all perfect opportunities for a savvy business owner or an expert to build genuine trust and authority. So, okay, if you were to create a free Facebook group centered around your niche, like your example, budget travel for over 50s, you could potentially cultivate an audience that genuinely sees you as a thought leader or an authority in that space.
Yes, absolutely.
And you can do it without spending a dime on ads initially, just building that community organically.
That's the potential, yes. Build the community first, established trust. And finally, another compelling insight from our research is that Meta, the company, actually wants you to win, in a way.
Wants me to win. How so?
Well, they're desperate to keep users creating content on their platform. They need the content to keep people engaged.
Right. Content is the fuel.
It is. So the company is actively pushing incentives like performance bonuses and payouts for creators using Reels. They're offering more visibility for video content, even from beginners, people just starting out.
Oh, okay.
And providing prompts and templates to help you create viral-style posts. They are simply hungry for engaging content, especially, it seems, from real people who aren't already massive influencers. They want authentic stuff, too.
That's a really interesting dynamic. So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Given this deep dive into the source material, we tried to distill this into a clear, actionable plan.
Right. Here's how you can potentially leverage Facebook's current position, maybe starting today. First, actively take advantage of that lower competition in local Facebook groups. Don't just lurk.
Be active.
Yeah. Join them, engage meaningfully, provide genuine value, maybe lead some conversations. Second, maybe test a small ad campaign, say $10. Specifically targeting an older or local niche you know well.
Just a small test.
Just a small test. Experiment with different ad creatives, maybe a short video, a clear image with a question, a simple problem-solution text ad, and meticulously compare your results. See what sticks.
Okay.
Third, start posting short vertical videos, Reels. The data strongly suggests the algorithm is significantly favoring these right now, even if they're basic, without high production value. Just get started. Authenticity often works.
Got it. Reels are key.
Fourth, if you haven't already, create a dedicated Facebook page for your interests or business. Don't just rely on your personal profile.
Why is a page?
Well, pages give you access to crucial analytics, messenger automations, and those powerful ad tools we mentioned. Much more professional.
Okay, makes sense.
Fifth, kind of a pro tip, observe and learn from users in other countries. Trends that gain traction in places like the US, India, or Brazil often appear elsewhere maybe 2 to 3 months later. It can give you an early advantage.
Look ahead, basically.
Look ahead. And finally, consistently track what content truly gets reach and engagement within your specific niche. Pay attention to your own data. Then, be prepared to double down on what performs well, even if the results initially surprise you. Don't be afraid to pivot based on what works.
That's really practical advice. So Facebook may be this tech giant battling some complex challenges, but in 2025, our deep dive reveals that you, the user, actually have more leverage than perhaps ever before.
It seems that way.
While Meta grapples with legal disputes, PR battles, shifting user demographics, you have this unique and powerful chance to genuinely grow a brand, cultivate a loyal customer base, maybe generate profit, foster real community, and truly become the digital go-to expert in your chosen space using their own platform.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really is all about understanding the platform's underlying pain points, its vulnerabilities, and then strategically working around or through them, use their needs to your advantage. And this raises, I think, an important question for you, the listener, to consider. How will you use this insight to transform your online presence and truly become the one in control?
That's right. A great question to end on. While it might suck to be Facebook right now in some ways,
Yeah.
it truly is an opportune moment to be a smart, intentional Facebook user. What will you do with this new knowledge?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.